What will a dollar likely be worth in 20 years? It will largely depend on what inflation in the US does over the next 20 years. I recall reading previously that the US Federal Reserve has an inflation target of 2% PA, which, if they were to average that over the next 20 years, would lead to inflation of approximately 150% over that period. 102/20 equals 1.49, which means that $1 in 2032 would have a purchasing power of approximately two-thirds what it does today. U.S. inflation over the last 20 years has been a little higher than the current target, averaging approximately 2.5% PA over the period 1992 to 2011. If the next 20 years were the same, there would be total inflation of approximately 165% over the period, which would reduce purchasing power to approximately 60% of what it is today. So, in all, you'd expect that $1 in 2032 will be able to purchase something in the order of 60 to 65% of the goods that $1 can purchase today, although anything could happen. Here is a way to examine that. What will a dollar buy today? What will a dollar buy in 20 years, adjusted for inflation? How many dollars do you get for an hour of work today, and how many will you get for an hour of work 20 years from now? When I was a kid, you could get a loaf of bread for 11 cents and a gallon of gas for 25 cents. I was paid to pump gas for 15 cents an hour. That means that 1 hour's work would buy a loaf and a half of bread, and an hour and a half would get a gallon of gas. Minimum wage today is roughly $7.00. 1 hour of work today should get you a couple of loaves of bread and maybe 2 to 3 gallons of gas. Things are actually better today, in spite of inflation. There is no reason to believe that in 20 years an hour of work will buy, in the dollars of the day, less than it buys now. 1 cents. The dollar hit its highest value around 1900. If you use a $1,900 as your baseline, the dollar is worth 3.28 cents today. If the same rate of inflation continues for another 20 years, the dollar will be worth 2.1 cents 20 years from now. The link doesn't work, so just Google Morgan Friedman inflation calculator. P.S. Between 1800 and 1900 the dollar doubled in value. It only cost 50 cents in 1900 to buy what $1 would buy in 1800. It looks like those days are long gone. The dollar will be worth 4.2 cents in 2040 if you want to use 1800 as your baseline. In 1930 the USD was worth $1.00 in purchase power. By 2017 it was worth about 0.06 C in purchase power. In 2016 the US national debt was about $19 trillion. In March 2018 the national debt was more than $22 trillion. That is $3 trillion pumped into the economy in 3 years to keep it afloat. At that rate there may not be a USD long before 20 years. There may be a major reset of the economy and financial system. US dollar will still be worth $1 in 20 years. What will it buy is the question you should be asking. A dollar buying a loaf of bread, a Big Mac, or a gallon of gas. No longer visible in the proverbial rear-view mirror, perhaps a postage stamp, assuming Trump doesn't sell the post office to a money-grubbing billionaire.